Hi, thank you for watching any video blog. Today from Istanbul, Turkey. Now one thing I don't understand is why do people worship celebrities? Now I have a few people that I like. For example, I was a fan of Chris Cornell. He unfortunately passed away, but his music is really touching and interesting and has a lot of good energy. But out of that, I don't really have, I'm not really a fan. I've never been a fan of anybody because I think that most of the celebrities just aren't very inspiring. Maybe musically, but their life choices, for the most, aren't really inspiring me at all. Now, for example, one of the things that I never found inspiring is that most of these celebrities, if not all, have very small families. I just looked on Wikipedia and checked all these celebrities, and they all have like 1 or 2 children. Some even don't have any children. And I don't get it. Because if you have that kind of money that they have, I would have like 12, 14 children. For me, having children is a blessing. Every child that I would receive from God is a blessing. Talking about my own family. My own family, the children that I will raise a wife. I consider that a blessing, every child. And especially these celebrities, they don't have really any excuse not to do that, because they have the means to do so. They have money. They can provide a lot for these children. So I don't really get it. And also that's why I'm not looking up to them. Because if I was in that situation, if I was like, say Chris Cornell, he has 3 children, or had. He passed away, unfortunately. But he had like 40 million, 40, in net worth. Maybe more, but that's what they estimate. Now that's a lot of money. You could easily have 10 children. And I know everybody's personal choice. I'm looking from my perspective. I'm not saying he did anything bad. It's his decision, was his life. But looking at it from my perspective, why I think, from my point of view, why I just don't get it. I just don't understand why somebody with that kind of money, also with that kind of talent, is not having 12 children. Will be amazing. Also, he was very good looking. He was very handsome. Though I'm a straight man, so I don't have any problem saying that. Because also straight men can see when somebody is very good looking. He was very good looking. The hair, my long hair, I decided to grow it because I was seeing Chris Cornell in the 90s. And I loved his long curly hair. And it just made me decide, yeah, that looks cool. I want to have this long hair as well. But yeah, to me, I think it's fascinating how my point of view is different from others. And from my point of view, of course, I would have a large family. I would have many more children. And I also would not care too much about a career anymore, because if you have that kind of money, you're basically done. You don't have to worry for the rest of your life. You can easily put a few million in an ETF, get passive income. With that kind of money, you just don't have to worry anymore. And what I would do with, for example, 40 million, I would dedicate my whole time to my big family. Be there every day, every minute for them. And, like I say, have as much children as possible. And again, I don't know their situation, how it was. Maybe his wife was already older and couldn't conceive, but To me, it just doesn't really make sense. And I consider Chris Cornell as a very good celebrity. He made awesome music, and he also seemed to be a very good person and also a good father. So, no offense, I don't want to insult him in any way. Like I said, I'm not a fan, but maybe close. But I'm just using him as an example, because it's the only star that I can relate to. But if you look at other famous or known people, for example, Trump, is also very famous. He has only one child with his model wife. Now, again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. Well, maybe she had a hard time conceiving. But it is not just an exception. This is happening a lot. I see this a lot. And I just don't get it from my perspective. Because if I had that kind of money, I just would buy a large piece of land, build a nice house, but also a big playground for the children, 3 huts, you name it, everything, so they can play. Like a puddle where they can play in summer, and when they're older, like in their teens, I will build like a barn, so they can hang out and practice things. Maybe they can practice, I don't know, shooting arrows, or I don't know, maybe cooking, anything that they want, natural things that they want. That is what I will do. Now, yeah, that it is my thing, but it also raises interesting questions. Because this is typical Western behavior. In, for example, Islamic world, it's not like that. It wasn't like that. The most rich and the most powerful men, they would have many children. They would also have multiple wives. Now, I'm not typically promoting that. I think that it's better to monogamy is much better, but okay. But just to think about it, it's just so odd how we perceive family and children in the West. And that's more the point that I wanted to make. Why do we not value family and having lots of children? Having a big, strong family? Why do we not value that much? And why do other cultures see it as one of the highest achievements that you can have? It is interesting. I think that materialism, money, status has taken over too much power. Now, in these cultures, yes, they were rich, but they used their wealth for the thing that they thought was most important. And it is family, children, and their wife or wives. It's just so odd to think about it. How come that we change so much in our perspective? How come that we now see children more as something, you know, you do at the side, oh, 2 children, and we see whatever. But how come that we change to that? Even the most wealthy and most powerful now even only have 2 children, and some even have 0. For example, Macron, the French president, 0 children. If I had that money that he made, I would build a legacy. And that's what a family is, a real legacy. Your stupid job as a president doesn't mean anything spiritually. It's just a slave job, nothing more. It's nothing enlightening or uplifting. Whilst a family truly is. With a family, you leave a legacy. And if you don't understand it, well, there is something wrong. And I wonder what went wrong. Is it because of Christianity? Because they have the celibacy? Or is it something else? Is it materialism, hedonism? I don't know. Just surprised, and I'm just showing that that is the reason why I'm not really looking up to them. To any of these celebrities. And now you might say, hey, wait, Elon Musk has 14 children. And that's true. He is sort of the only one getting it in a way. But he is not living together with all of them. So it would be better if he would have like what they have in this, well, the past Islamic world, where you have like a harem. I don't know how to say it in English, but where you live together with multiple women. But he is not doing that. He is living apart from them. Now that's not really the same. That's not a legacy. So when you have your own children, you should be with them. If you have a wife and you have many children, of course you want to be with them. And he's living separately from them, so, and he's their legal father. Now that's, yeah, that's also not making sense in my opinion. That's another thing. If they have more children, then they're always divorced. And that's not a really natural and healthy state. Because it means you have separated yourself from your wife, but also from your children. You're not living together anymore. So yes, some celebrities maybe would have more children, more than 2, but they had this out of divorce. So they remarried and then they maybe have a few more children. But it's not like one of these celebrities have a family of 12 or 14. No, they just don't do that. They just decide not to do that. Well, that's why I don't really look up to any celebrity. And I look more up to real traditional men. Like an Amish father, a Mennonite father. That would have a large family of 8. Stays with his wife. Works hard to support them. And I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of those kind of men. I look up to them. They're for me a living example and of how I want to be. And what else these other celebrities, so-called celebrities, do, they're not my celebrities. So, it's just my opinion. You can have another opinion. But to understand my ideas, well, again, these are not my celebrities. And they will never be. So it was for today from Istanbul, Turkey. I say thank you for watching. See you next time.